Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your boy Kenny, and this is Triangle: The Secret Storm, Season 1, Episode 5, and the name of this episode is Liar Liar. Yo, let me give like a round of applause to this cast, man, because this cast is delivering some great work, and this episode was awesome. I was literally screaming and gagging at the end of this episode because this was really good. But before I get started, let me give my love and condolences to everyone that was affected by Hurricane Irma, Hurricane Harvey, Hurricane Jose. If you can give relief and give assistance to everyone that was affected, please do so. And also, subscribe to brtbtv.com. If you have not already done so, you need to do it right now. I will have the link in the description box. So yeah, get hooked up with brtbtv.com ASAP. And also check out the Triangle Fan Club on Facebook. You get everything Triangle, and you also get posts from the cast as well as updates from the creator Caesar Williams. So definitely check out the Triangle Fan Club as well. Now let me get into this episode because this episode had me stoked. I was so here for it. Woo! Because I was just wondering what was going to be the aftermath when Logan came back from Philly. And let's just say it was definitely fireworks. So the episode opens up. Ty is in a park performing with his guitar. Oh, and shout out to Marquise Ford. You are a talented brother. I love your voice, and I love your playing. You definitely made Halo by Beyonce your own. And that acoustic version of that song was everything. Because I even seen him do it on Instagram as well. Like, man's a phenomenal talent. And it was good to kind of see Ty's artistic side. And we're seeing that that's the one thing that draws him and Logan together, is that they both are artists. They both like to be creative. They like to express themselves. And it was actually a beautiful scene because he's sitting there in the park. It's sunny outside, and he's just in his zone, just, feeling his guitar, and he's, feeling the lyrics. So that was definitely a good scene. Then we get a scene with Logan and Gary, because I was just wondering what's going to be the aftermath now that Logan's back after what we witnessed last week with Gary and Ty. So Logan comes in, excited, telling him that he wants him to read this song that he wrote, and then Gary is just real, dismissive, like, well, fine. I mean, it's not like I have anything important to do. And he's like, okay, fine. Well, I'm getting tired of grading papers, so I'll read it. He reads the song, and he's like, this is good. Did I inspire this one? Does the love still feel good? And he was saying that, well, and then Logan pretty much kind of lets him know that well, yeah, you definitely have been an inspiration to me. He didn't actually say that was directly, that song was, he didn't say that actual poem was directly about him, but he did say that, yes, you have inspired me, but obviously you're searching elsewhere, so Gary ain't fully giving you all the inspiration, Logan. And then all of a sudden he said that he also had another part that he wanted him to read, and he was like, no, dang, what's all this? I mean, you just keep throwing stuff at me. Like, won't you respect my time? And then Logan's like, I do respect your time. And he was saying that, look, obviously you're not. You keep throwing this book up in my face, asking me to read it. And then he just talks his shit to the side, and I'm like, Gary, you a simple motherfucker. You really are, man. And I got a little nickname for Gary now. Gary's nickname is Xanax, because that's the damn medicine his ass needs to be on. So yeah, Gary, aka Xanax, is still giving, this bitch fit, and, Logan's like, look, I take this book very seriously, I want to share my ideas with you because I want your opinion. And then Gary's like, well, my opinion is one thing, but when it comes down to the publisher, it's his opinion is the one that's going to matter, because that's going to determine whether your book even gets done or not. But then Logan's like, but your opinion means the most to me. And then all of a sudden Gary's like, cool. I'm like, yo, you is a mess, because we definitely all know this resentment is coming from somewhere else. But yet, because he doesn't actually come out and tell you how he feels, he likes to play these like pseudo mind tricks. It's just like going like over Logan's head, because he doesn't even know why the hell he's coming at him like this. So he was like, so pretty much, Logan's like, so is everything cool at work now? Because you just coming off very hostile. And he's like, no, everything's cool at work. I'm fine. And then Gary asks Logan, so what you gonna end up doing today? He said, Naya is coming to town, and we're gonna explore the city and have fun. And then before Gary gets up, Gary's like, look, I gotta go to work, but know this: keep our personal business personal. And then Logan's like, yes, sir. It's like Logan is just like, he's just kind of like feeling like, yo, I'm trying to share my ideas with you, and you just being all stank for no fucking reason. But yeah, we know the truth. Then we get a scene back at the park with Ty, but then now Ty is joined by Sebastian. And shout out to J. Theodore Bacouche. If I said his last name wrong, put it down in the comments and correct me. It's all good with me. But I definitely love him as an actor. I'm like, he is really playing this role of Sebastian, because we're starting to see it, because we saw in this scene that Sebastian is really starting to get fed up with the bullshit. So Sebastian kind of rolls up on him, and Ty's like, well, damn, I can't go to the park by myself? And he's like, yo, it's not like that. I've been trying to reach you, and your phone's off. And he's like, man, my phone not off. He fucking checks, and he sees that his phone has been cut off. And he's like, okay, fine. I'll get it back on later. And Sebastian's like, well, I was afraid that you had blocked my number. And he was like, why would you think that? And then Sebastian's like, well, based off of what happened, the other day with my sister, I felt that, you were upset of how the way she came at you, so I felt you kind of took it out on me. And then, he's like, oh, you talking about how your sister was treating me like I was a bum-ass nigga? And he was like, and then, Sebastian was like, don't say that word. He was like, what? Nigga and nigger, I mean, they're just words, babe. And besides, your fucking people created that word to make y'all feel better when it came down to us. So why you getting mad? And he's like, but regardless of that, I don't like that word. So we actually see that, Sebastian really likes Ty for who he is, and he's not a racist. He's just not one of those types that just wants the black man but don't really want to be with the black man. He wants to be with the black man. So we actually see that Sebastian really is, he really is attracted to Ty. And then then the conversation takes another turn when Ty tells Sebastian that he thinks they need some space because he's busy with school and that Ty's, working on his music. They just need some space between them. So then all of a sudden Sebastian's like, oh, so you're breaking up with me? Is that what you're doing, Ty? And Ty's like, what the hell you mean this breakup? Here you go again with that crap. See, the term breakup is in conjunction with a relationship. You already know what this is. And then Sebastian's like, who is it, Ty? Tell me, who is it? He's like, look, you're the only one that I've been dating exclusively. But you knew what this was when you got into it. And then Sebastian's like, yeah, what this is some bullshit. You're so fucking selfish. You know what? Fine, you're right. We do need some space. Fuck you. And ran off. And I was like, I'm like, Sebastian is beginning to see more and more that Ty is, kind of distancing himself further and further away from him. But, and plus he also is clocking that it's probably somebody else. Oh yeah, we know it's somebody else. But we're going to see how this plays out, in the rest of this episode. So after that scene, we get a scene with Naya and Logan. Naya and Logan are chatting it up. They're talking about Solange and SZA. They're, and it's cool to see Naya because Naya's gorgeous. Shout out to Cornelia Kenny Brown. Love her. I mean, she's a beautiful woman. She's a great actress, and I just love, the character Naya, because we actually see that she is really, her and Logan are like kindred spirits. They're like brother and sister. That's how cool their relationship is, because they definitely like the same things, and they go back and forth like family, and it's awesome. So she tells him about there's this show in Philly that that she wants him to go to. At first he's kind of resistant, but then he decides that yeah, I'm down. So she's gonna get some tickets for that, and then like pretty much they're talking and everything, and then Naya starts singing this song or whatever, and she's like really getting into it. And while she's singing, and she has a pretty voice too, so she's singing and everything, and then all of a sudden Logan decides to drop the bomb. I saw Ty again. And she's like, what? And he's like, girl, back up. Like why are you getting so close? And she's like, because I'm smelling bullshit, Logan. Really? And after he mentions that, his phone goes off. And it's Gary. Gary's calling him from work, and again, he's apologizing. Gary apologizes for how the way he acted earlier today, and I actually thought that that other piece you wrote, I thought that was really cool. I was really feeling that, because Logan's writing a song, and they kind of chatted up on the phone and everything, and then Logan's like, well, I'm actually here with Naya, so I'll call you later. And he's like, okay, well, tell Naya I said hi and everything. So he hangs up the phone, thinking he hung up the phone, but the line was still open. And Gary, since Gary is simple as hell, stayed on the line. So pretty much they continue their conversation because he just dropped a bomb that he saw Ty again. So of course Naya's like, I think you got a thing for Ty. You like living on the edge, don't you, Logan? And he's like, what you talking about? She's like, I think you want him again. I think you want to go at it one more time. And he's like, no, it's not. It's not like that. She's like, bullshit. Be real. You still think about Ty, don't you? And at first he was hesitant, but then he was saying that, okay, one thing I will tell you about Ty is that he is a great kisser. And the whole time the line is open and Gary's hearing all of this. And we see Gary is starting to fume the hell up. So he's like, oh yes, he's a good kisser. I mean, the way he kissed, it just had my head just spinning and spinning and spinning. I was like, oh. And we know that Gary is insecure like shit, so this is really making him mad. So, Naya's like, oh, okay, I see you, all right. Because first she was like, is he cute? You got a picture of him? And she's like, why would I have a picture of his ass? But that was a cool conversation. But we now know Gary overheard Naya and Logan talking. So Gary's mad as shit. And the next thing you know, we see Sebastian comes to him, and he's like, oh my God, like, what are you doing here? And like Sebastian's like, the quiz, you told me that to come back for the remake, so I'm here. But if you obviously got something going on, I can come back later on. He's like, oh no, it's fine. We can do it now. I'll arrange for you to get to take a test in the classroom or whatever. And then like Sebastian begins to tell Gary that I really do appreciate you. This school is great this school is lucky to have you, and and then like, you're different than all the rest of the professors because the rest of the professors here are assholes. And Gary was like, well, I care for my scholars, and Sebastian asked him where did he teach before that, and he let him know he taught at Temple University. Yes. And and then like Sebastian's like, well, we're lucky to have you. And then Gary's like, yeah, they are, because Gary is that arrogant, but kind of played it off. So then Gary starts coming out with the bullshit, because we saw from the last episode he saw Ty and Sebastian going back and forth outside of the restaurant. So he said that I don't know how to tell this to you, but the other day I saw you with this guy, and you guys were having an argument, and it looked like it was going to get physical. And he's like, and then Sebastian's like, oh no, that's my boyfriend. I really do care about him a lot, but sometimes we just butt heads. It is what it is. And then he was saying that, well, the thing is, I was questioning your relationship because later on that day, I saw him at a coffee house, and he was there with a guy, and it seemed like they were getting intimate. They were kissing or whatever. So we already see all of this is really starting to affect Sebastian, and I'm just sitting back thinking, Gary, you messy motherfucker. Yeah, you fucking say that you saw him kissing another man when you know damn well you was the one who was trying to do that kissing in your birthday suit. So pretty much we, Sebastian's like, well, to be honest with you, it doesn't surprise me because he's always taking you for granted. And, all of a sudden, Gary's like, you don't let no one take you for granted. Don't let him do that to you. Because if he can't respect you, then he doesn't deserve to have you. So don't let him take you for granted. And then Gary plays on it and begins to tell him that, oh yeah, because I was in a relationship and I did everything for him. I paid his bills, I put a roof over his head. I did everything that a man is supposed to do, and yet he took me for granted. Pretty much we all know he's talking about Logan. But then he was saying that, so Sebastian's like, oh wow, Professor, I didn't know that you were gay. And he's like, well, I usually don't share my personal life. But then he begins to touch on Sebastian's knee. It's like, but you look like somebody that I can trust. And then he's like, Sebastian's like, well, yeah, I'm a trustworthy guy. And he's like, yeah, I can see that. So let's go take that test. I'm like, yeah, he want to give you the test and give you a big ass D. Just saying. So then we go back to the house with Naya and Logan. They're still chatting it up, and Gary comes home. Now we already see from the door, Gary is mad as hell. His blood is boiling, but as soon as he comes in and shuts that door, gives the fucking fake smile and keeps marching in. So he comes in, and Naya wants to give him a hug, but he's like, oh no, girl, it's okay. It's good to see you, though. I missed you when you was here the last time. Just being real salty towards her. And then, like, so then she's like, Gary's like, well, how you been? What you been up to? And she starts to talk about her lame-ass boss, got transferred out, so now she got a new boss and she's happy because things are now going well for her at work. So then her and, So her and Logan start chatting it up, and then they just see Gary standing there, and it's like, Gary, and then like Logan's like, Gary, won't you join in the conversation? And then Naya's like, yeah, won't you join? Won't you get you some wine and let's chat it up? And he's like, okay, I'll get a glass. So we see that they still turning up drinking, and we see that Naya and Logan are chatting it up, and Gary is like a little bit across from them and is not really saying much of anything. So they start talking about Drake and about which album was better, More Life or Take Care. So they're kind of having this debate, and Naya asks Gary about it, and then like Gary pretty much because at first Gary's just completely despondent. He's not even paying attention. But then he lets them know, like, oh, True Life was his best shit. That was the shit right there. So they start chatting it up, and then Gary asked the question. So tell me, Naya, do you think Drake is your type, or do you think you're Drake's type? And she's like, well, I don't know. But hell, as good as I look, I should be. Shit. And I'm like, I don't blame you, Naya. But then Logan turns and like, yeah, because Drake is known to like women that are fast and experienced. And then all of a sudden she's like, excuse me? And then Logan's even like, yo, what do you mean by that? He was like, well, like, come on, we all grown. And we definitely know that Miss Naya over here likes to get around, and she got miles up on her kitty cat. And I'm like, you disrespectful motherfucker, Gary. Like, damn. So Naya, being the type of chick that you not gonna come at her sideways because she's Philly all day, she gets up and is like, yo, dude, you got me fucked up. Don't ever come at me like that, and you don't know nothing about me. Like, you don't even know nothing about me like that. He's like, what? Why are you so offended, though? Why are you so mad? I know you be talking about the mouse on your kitty cat with Logan. Why you mad that I'm bringing it up? And she says that, first of all, I don't be talking about anything in regards to my pussy with fucking Logan. And then all of a sudden he's like, oh, pussy? So eloquent. I'm like, oh, bitch, you really need your ass whooped, Gary. You really do. And then like she's like, you know what? You a disrespectful motherfucker, Gary. And he's like, why you mad though? Why you mad? And she's like, look, I'm not gonna take this crap from you. Like, I don't know who the fuck you think you are, but you got me, but you got me fucked up. And then he's like, then he pulled a line from Damn Nene Leakes, close your legs to married men. I was like, oh, you are really trying it. And she's like, you know what? I'm about to get the fuck up out of here. And like she pretty much tells Logan, you need to check him before I do. And he's like, you ain't gonna check me. And she's like, yeah, and that's the problem. So she walks off, and then, Logan is looking at Gary like, yo, what the fuck was up, man? Why did you do that to her? And he's like, I'm just saying, we grown. I just told her like it is. I ain't my fault she can't take it. And he goes after Naya. Naya's upset, and she, he stops her in the hallway, and she's like, first of all, yo, that was way out of line, and if that's how the way he feels about me, I'm glad I know now. And she's like, well, that's just it. Gary, this is not Gary. Gary never will say anything like that. She's like, but he did today, and to be honest with you, I'm not coming back until he apologizes. And even then, I may not still come back. And then she begins to leave, and Logan tells her that he'll call her. And then he goes in there and is like, yo, what the hell was up with that? He's like, look, at the end of the day, I'm just calling it like it is. She gets around, and if you keep hanging around her, people are going to be saying the same thing about you and all of that shit. She's like, and he's like, who the hell is saying this shit, Gary? He's like, well, I am, and everybody else, And like Logan became very direct with him and was like, look, you was out of order, and you need to apologize to her. And he's like, it ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. He's like, oh, okay. So then Logan leaves. We later on see that he ends up texting Ty and ends up meeting Ty at the park. So he pretty much is like chatting it up with Ty and was like, I wanted to see if you want to do another writing session. And Ty's like, when? He's like, right now, if you ain't got nothing else to do, let's get to work. And then Ty's like, man, these games you playing. And of course, Logan is completely naive to it all. Cause he's like, what are you talking about? He's like, look, let's be real. Are you back here because you really want a session, or are you back here because of the kiss? He's like, no, I really want to have a session with you, and I really want to do some work. And Ty lets him know that, bruh, you had 2 sessions with me. You don't need me anymore, so why the hell you keep doing this shit? And he's like, I actually do. I do need you because, you have creative energy, and, I like being around creative energy. And he says, so be real. Is it the energy or me? So, because Ty knows that he's equipped with that magic stick, and that magic stick can do wonders. Do you believe in magic? Yeah. So, but then Logan says, "Oh no, it's the energy, you know," and like, you know, he's saying that he is like stumbling because he doesn't know what he wants to write about next, but he likes being around Ty. But then we know why you like being around Ty. So he's like, you know, so then they start questioning, like, you know, I'm still trying to question of what to say or how to think or how to, and then Ty jumps in, Phil. I'm like, see, they, you know, completing each other's sentences and everything. So I'm like, yeah, there's definitely something there. There's definitely some chemistry. So then he asks him, so Ty begins to ask Logan, so how was Philly? He's like, oh yeah, great, you know, I actually hung out with some family, some friends, you know, I want to stay an extra week, but, hold up. How the hell do you even know I was in Philly? And he says that, your boy told me, Gary. He's like, oh, really? He's like, yeah, we met at the bar and everything, and we hung out, and he apologized. He didn't tell you? He's like, no, he didn't tell me anything. So then Ty starts to throw it out like, oh, so you guys are trying to have a competition with each other to see who's going to fuck me first? Because first of all, I ain't down with that shit. And Logan's like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's like, look, after we met at the bar, we went back to the crib and had more drinks. And then the next thing you know, your fucking man come out butt ass naked, you know, trying to fuck me. But I turned him down because, yeah, it was all cool when we had the threesome, but he's not my type. And he was like, man, you lying. He's like, man, what the fuck I gotta lie to you for, man? What do I have to gain to lie? And that just goes to show you the difference between Ty and Logan. See, Gary lied to Sebastian, you know, to try to kind of like get power over Sebastian. Ty, yeah, he told about what happened, but he was completely honest. Because we saw that go down. And he was like, you know what? I don't believe you. And he's like, well, that's your problem, not mine. So then we see he walks away, but then we look at Ty's face. Ty has feelings for Logan. Sorry for tripping up. But Ty has feelings for Logan, and it's so evident now. So now he done got all of this tea from Ty, and then also watching how Gary disrespected Naya. Logan is spent. So when he goes back home, he begins to approach Gary and begins to let Gary have it. Because then he starts, because immediately when he sits down next to Ty, when Logan sits down next to Gary, he begins to ask, so, why you ain't tell me you met up with Ty? And that, you know, you guys went out for drinks. What's up with that? And he's like, oh, so that's where you went to, huh? You went back to Ty, huh? And he's like, so what's up? And he's like, yeah, we hung out and we had drinks and all of that shit, and that was it. He was like, no, boo-boo. Why did you, like, how did he know that I was, how the hell did he know that I was in Philly? He's like, oh yeah, we were just talking. We was drinking and we was talking and then it came up, it is what it is. And he's like, see, that's some bullshit because you told him that I was in Philly when he was up in here in this house. And he's like, and then all of a sudden Gary's like, yo, whoa. You need to pump your brakes, Logan, because you starting to fucking smell yourself and all this shit. He's like, and he was like, so what is it? You want to go fuck Ty again? Is that what it is, Logan? And Logan's like, no, but you do. And he's like, what are you talking about? I don't know what the hell he's told you, but that nigga's lying and he's playing with you. You know how gullible you are and how people can get into your head real easily and shit. So, you know, I don't know why you up here believing him and all this shit. And he's like, and then like Logan's like, well, tell me, Gary, why would Ty lie? What does he really have to gain by lying? Like, really? He's like, I don't know. But obviously, you know, whatever he told you, it was a lie, and I'm sticking with it. So, okay, so I'm going to let you know everything Ty said. See, Ty told me that he came up in here, y'all had drinks, and then you came out here butt ball naked. You wanted to fuck him, but yet he declined you. So, tell me, is Ty lying about that shit? And then Gary, being the typical smartass, was like, well, we had a threesome. You were there. Won't you tell me whether it's true or not? And in this moment, Logan began to perch up, and he began to read Gary his fucking rights. And he began to say, because you are not his type. So here it is, you done brought him back up into this house, and you made sure to let him know that I was up in Philly, and you decided to masquerade with your little dick and your little ass. Oh yeah, the ass that you told him you couldn't have initially, but he slid right up in there, didn't he? And didn't want you a second time. I was like, damn! I was screaming. Y'all should have saw me up in here. I was hollering. I was like, damn! Yo, shout out to Brandon Carson and Sean Singleton in this scene, because the two of them brought it. But when you read him and perched up and decided to read Gary for filth, you know Gary's a simple motherfucker. He couldn't take it. Xanax kicked in and he began to start choking the living shit out of Logan. And it was like, keep fucking around and you gonna lose me. Yeah, you ain't talking shit now, are you? And it's literally choking him out, and to the point where, Logan's able to break free, and he's like, get the hell off of me. Don't you ever fucking put your hands on me. And then, like, he mushes Gary's head, and then he walks out, and, like, Gary's like, where you going? The same place that you don't want him to go. And because of your actions, you pushing him closer and closer to Ty. Yeah. So how about them apples, Gary? But yeah, that's what I have, y'all. This episode had me dying. I was laughing my ass off. Because I'm like, yo, Gary is slowly but surely, that monster, a.k.a. Xanax, is coming out. And it's just going to do nothing but push Logan more to Ty. And then this little shit you try to settle with Sebastian, that shit may come back to bite you too. But then again, the same thing with Ty. I mean, this is like a domino effect like no other. It's cause and effect throughout this whole show, because every single character can get affected in a negative aspect by one event is going to trick down this one, and this event is going to knock down that one. It's like nobody is safe. Everybody is up for grabs for heartache and heartbreak. So that's what I have, y'all. If I missed anything, put it down in the comments. I'll definitely like to hear what you guys thought of this episode. But this episode gave me life, y'all. So subscribe to my channel. Click that bell so you can get notifications every time I drop a video. Also, I started a GoFundMe. Check that out in the description as well. Like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. And I will be back with the next episode of Triangle the Secret Storm. So until then, everybody, take care.